Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sterling Live, our second episode of the week. I'm so happy to be back here again for you. Again, my name is Caitlin Brower. I'm Sterling's Director of PR and Social Media and your host of Sterling Live. Again, really excited to be back today. We have a nice, I think, quick topic for you, but there's been a lot of information to be shared. And I have a returning guest. Everyone's familiar, I think, with our guest so far, but Evangeline is here with us today. She is our client success practice leader for staffing. And as you can see on the bottom, this is our topic today, staffing industry insights, discussing the latest trends from staffing HR leaders. So Evangeline, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me once more, Caitlin. Exciting. Looking forward to the conversation here today because I think it is top of mind for our clients all the time. But really quickly, again, by way of introduction, Evangeline Lopez, I am the staffing practice leader here at Sterling, and I support all of our client success partners whose role really is to help our clients, specifically in the staffing space, with their day-to-day background screening programs and making sure we're having open dialogue and conversation around things like benchmarking, and not only how you may compare to your peers in the industry or space, but beyond that scale and scope, looking at maybe the industry specifically that your staffing organization may be focused in, and helping you benchmark to those industries as well.
Awesome. Well, again, so excited to have you back on this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show everyone. This is actually what we're talking about today. As you can see on the screen, we have a new report called Navigating the Talent Landscape, Staffing Industry Hiring Trends and Benchmarking Insights. So we are diving into this brand new report, which you can find in the chat right now, but we're going to pop it in the chat later on. So we're going to be talking all things about that. That being said, if you do happen to have questions for Evangeline throughout the episode, please go ahead and put them in the comment section across Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, and I'll get them over to her as I see fit. So I think everyone's eager. I'm eager. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off with, again, staffing industry trends and these benchmarking insights, can you give us an overview of the staffing industry and how you interact with our staffing clients?
Sure. So our clients are very unique in staffing because while we, say we're part of the staffing practice area, like I shared, our clients may be very heavily focused in supporting their clients who are transportation clients, or perhaps they are placing, people in the medical field, the security field. So we really actually get to see all sorts of industries that our clients are supporting. Really, the staffing clients we support are helping to find and pool talent for their clients, which is also somewhat unique. And with that, our role is making sure that we are helping them to properly vet those individuals that we're placing so that they can help build trust essentially with their end users, their clients, in who they're placing.
So, Evangeline, this report is unique because we actually got insights from our clients. So, you clearly just outlined how we work with our clients and that really tight partnership. So, given that it's a lot of this information is from, some top clients, can you give a high level overview of the methodology around this staffing report? And then why is it important for Sterling to do things like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, it's something we put a lot of emphasis and thought into, and the information that we're, putting out into the marketplace. And hopefully everyone who's joining today can have a look at the report itself after our conversation today. But we look at, having conversations with our clients, right? And part of that happens whether it's with your client success partner, but understanding what's important and where our clients are placing value, where their needs are. And then we also put out a survey this year. So some of the information that's produced through this benchmarking report is from the survey that we put out as well. And then we take back all of the information that we've gathered, we analyze the data, and we reflect on the services and the packages. Again, not only that our clients are leveraging in the staffing practice, but also in all practice areas that Sterling supports, to make sure that we're aligning and we're publishing information that is going to be valuable to you all into the marketplace when you are making hiring decisions, when you're determining, what your programming should look like going forward, things that you should be thinking about, things that your peers are thinking about, because I know everyone likes to know and keep up with competition, right? So that's sort of, those three areas are how we comprise the report that we're publishing out today.
So one
And
of
then,
the areas that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no.
No, I was just going to say one of the areas that you had mentioned was what staffing leaders, HR leaders value. So with everything that we've gathered, what are the top priorities for HR leaders in the staffing space right now?
Yeah, so I think there were three areas that came out of this that I'll highlight really quickly. No surprise to anyone who may be joining or who is in the staffing space, reduced time to hire. And I think we've seen that and we hear that everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But it is even more critical in staffing probably than any other industry, because our clients, how they make money, right, is getting people hired and putting them into positions. And so anything that we can do to help support that initiative, we do. And I will say that, I've been with Sterling nearly 9 years, and over the course of my time here, we have significantly improved the ways that we help our clients do that, from automation in different areas. And we'll talk about some of those things a little bit later today. The second area that was most important or top of mind is increasing employee retention. I'll say this one is a little bit more surprising, I think, in staffing, just because I think traditionally staffing hasn't always thought about how do we retain the talent that we're bringing in? Because like I said, often it's, we get the placement and we move on. But now more often, our clients are coming to us and saying, we actually want to keep these individuals. So if they're a contract hire, we might have them on a contract for a year, but we want to retain them and repurpose them after that contract is over. So looking again at ways to keep those individuals, those highly valued employees in a position with the organization. And then last but not least, expansion into new markets. And so some of this can be everything from a new industry, perhaps, that our staffing clients haven't historically participated in, or we're hearing a lot more about really like downstream consolidation as well from a global perspective. So looking at also perhaps, where there are new markets expanding globally that they can help support as well.
I really loved the second priority because of how unique it is. And it's something maybe we haven't thought of before. But I think what I love about it the most is that they're clearly finding these right hires and these great fits for their organization. And Sterling's been there to help them from the start. So I really like that that is coming up. And we are, again, really helping these organizations find the best fit for them. And they really want to keep who they have on staff.
Our role, people go, well, what's Sterling's role in that? It's making that background screening experience a positive one, because we're one of the first interactions that employee will have with the organization.
Absolutely. Let's move into some benchmarking for staffing. So what are some of the emerging products in the staffing industry right now?
Yeah. So again, two things I think stood out when we looked at some of the feedback that we received. And one of those is what we call our client matrix application offering. So this isn't new. It's not like a revolutionary product, but I think we're seeing a lot more clients who are recognizing the value in what that service provides. And essentially what it is it ties back to that reduced time to hire, right? So when our clients are getting a background check and the results, they're taking time to go through, to read, to understand those, to understand, does this person qualify for the position position that I'd like to place them in. And so looking at ways that we can help them streamline doing that and have a faster turnaround on their part. And so what we're able to do is, like I said, set up client matrix applications that will essentially say, if something like this comes back on the individual's background check, our client wants to see it or no, they don't. And so we'll score their background screen according to what our clients truly value and what they really want to see. So they're not having to spend a whole lot of additional time looking at those background checks before making a hiring decision. So that's one area. The other is, again, identity verification. I think that's going to be a continued trend. If you read the news, there's been a lot of security breaches recently, right, with individuals' PII, and that becomes very intimidating and scary to people, right? Because they wonder, well, what if my information out there in the world is floating around and there are imposters, right? And so how do we help our clients make sure that who they think they are going to run a background check on is in fact that individual, is through identity verification tools and actually running those up front before we even launch a background check. So again, we're not wasting a whole lot of time, potentially, or our clients' money running background checks on people who aren't really the folks that they think they have in the room. So that has been a huge topic that is newer to this space, and some of the different technology and AI tools that can be leveraged to help support our clients in that area.
Yeah, that identity, verification solution continues to gain a lot of interest, and at this time, we do have a lot of great stories from some of our clients. So if you are watching right now and that is of interest, definitely reach out. We're happy to have those conversations for sure. Even, with the original one as well, like you had said, with the client matrix application, anything again that we mention on this episode, happy to have a discussion on. So let's look to the future. We just talked about a little bit of like some emerging tech and everything like that. But for staffing, for HR leaders, from what we've gathered, what are the types of products and solutions that they're looking at? I guess maybe in like 1 to 2 years. Let's give it that time frame.
Sure. So, yeah, because I know everyone's anxiously awaiting next year and all that it holds and planning for that. But I think, again, and this is sort of something newer in the staffing space, but part of it ties back into employee retention, right? And as you're retaining more of these employees and placing them on different contracts or in different positions, how do you continuously monitor and ensure that nothing has changed with their backgrounds? And usually that's linked to criminal checks. We also offer, MVR monitoring services and that sort of thing, but really looking at that post-monitoring, post-hiring opportunity to make sure, again, that you are placing people and they are working in a safe and trusted work environment with those individuals that they're surrounding themselves with. And so that's something that, again, has been top of mind for many of our clients, and making sure that we're helping support those initiatives, whether it's next year or beyond. And then another area is, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, but really expanding programs, especially international and global screening programs, making sure that regardless of where in the world your candidate may sit, they're having the same experience, ideally an experience in their native language as well. So that's something that we're helping our clients work through and on, again, as they're consolidating in their organizations, or, they're becoming more centralized as an organization, looking at ways to help them there. We've heard a lot recently about clients, especially who are expanding, at least in staffing, who are expanding into the Central and Latin America regions, as well as there's a couple of key countries, I think, in EMEA as well, where many of our clients are looking to expand or have their programs supported. And then one other thing that came to mind, Caitlin, as you were asking this question, is actually the repurposing of data. So we hear this a lot from our staffing clients where, they may have someone who 6 months ago, they ran a full scope background check on them. And so they don't want to have to go through that process again, but they may have a need, right, to share with one of their clients the same information or the same background check. So saying, how do we use the background check and the data we pulled from that to go ahead and place this person? And it's also a cost savings potentially to our client as well. And so I am hopeful that in the coming months, there may be some different technologies that we're able to support our clients with when it comes to the repurposing of data as well. So excited, like I said, to be able to share more information, I think in the next couple months with clients as to some of the things we may have in our pockets sort of working on. So slight teaser there, but more to come.
I say this whole episode is a teaser for the report, for new things. So I love it. I love that final thought that you just had. That is really exciting. And again, it shows that continued growth and that continuous innovation for our clients with what they really need.
Yeah.
So we obviously talked a lot already about the high level insights and a lot of the great things we heard from our clients. But you personally, Evangeline, what did you find most interesting from the report?
So most interesting to me, so I always think about, okay, if I were my clients and I'm reading this benchmarking report, what am I thinking about? And I always am like, well, just because I sit at Sterling and this is what I hear from my clients, is this truly like, are we in touch with the marketplace? And what I found that was most interesting to come out of this was that other, reports have been published, or SIA, or our competitors, some of the reports I was reading through that they've put out and published, all of the top 3 areas that are of most importance to our clients, those thoughts were echoed in those reports. I think it was just nice to have that affirmation that, what we're thinking about or what our clients were hearing is not just Sterling clients, but it is truly all encompassing of the staffing area.
Yeah, we're really hitting that larger industry. So again, it's not like specific, clients that we are going after. It really is hitting that at a global scale. So I think that is a good takeaway. I do like that. All right. Well, I'm going to pause for a second and remind our audience, this is last call for any questions you might have. So if you're watching live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, and you have any final questions on the report or anything staffing related for Evangeline, get those over in the comment section across these 3 platforms. While we wait for any final questions to come in, just wanted to get your final thoughts from today. Again, it could be on the report, it could be on, helping our staffing clients, anything you'd like to leave our audience with.
Yeah, well, certainly would encourage everyone who's listening today or listens after to look at or request a copy of the benchmarking report. And we're happy to have side conversations and talk through things that may be of particular interest to you and to your organization. I'll also put a plug out there really quick for all of our staffing clients today. I welcome you to join our next staffing client council call, which will be held September 24th. And we're actually going to be focusing specifically on the global screening space. I think that'll be a really interesting conversation again for peer-to-peer sharing. So you can hear what your peers are doing or thinking about when it comes to global screening. And then again, if there are areas that we can help support or continue to help support, like I said, reduce time to hire, employee retention, or expansion into those new markets, I would love to have those conversations.
Yeah, shout out to those roundtables. It's one of my favorite things that Sterling does. So I'm excited that you made the plug for that. I look forward to hearing, what you guys learn on the 24th. I think that's really exciting. So yeah, we just commented on Facebook, YouTube, and my colleague Randy will be commenting in LinkedIn any moment now. That's where you can find the report. The link is available for you across our social media platforms. You can also find it under the resources section on sterlingcheck.com. Or if you'd like to send us a message, we'll send you the report happily. Please, if you're a client, reach out to your CSP. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to the LinkedIn, direct message section. We'll be happy to get that report over to you. So getting an echo for myself. Sorry about that. I don't want anyone to hear that noise loudly in their headphones. But again, I just wanted to show the report quickly for our audience, just so they can see it, so they know what they're downloading. Again, really, really good stuff here. So you can see it on the screen, navigating the talent landscape, staffing industry hiring trends, and benchmarking insights. So Evangeline, thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your insights. And thank you to our audience, whether you're watching live or on demand. We have 2 more episodes next week. I'm excited. And we're also going to be live at HR Tech. So very exciting things coming through. But Evangeline, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you coming on today. All right. And thank you, everyone.